You guys ready for some hot wheat?
Hot wheat?
No.
Let's get that hot wheat rolling, y'all. Hello, and welcome to Supernatural Selection. It's your weekend weird. I'm your host, Kevin. And with me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you this week?
Kevin,
Kevin, he forgot his last name for a second.
No, I was going to say Kevin, the gluten intolerant people torturer with the hot wheat.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wow, that took a minute. Yeah.
I couldn't remember the word gluten. I kept going, my brain kept wanting to say lactose, but I'm like, I know that's not right.
Oh, no, it's hot wheat, not milky wheat.
Oh, wow, got the lactose and the gluten.
Yes.
Well, what is wheat but not the milk of the plant?
Gross. And we've got Mr. David Davis. David, how are you today?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, no, we're all pretty fucking tired right now.
So we should probably mention that yes, we are doing a Week in Weird this week because I fucked up and haven't finished writing the episode yet.
David,
your
episodes are very similar to Duke Nukem Forever because they feature your episodes have feature creep.
I can't help it.
It's called scope creep.
Yeah. No offense. I love the amount of research you do. It's just funny how it's like, I'm sorry, the episode's not ready this week because I've discovered 9 other topics. And
I found a 300-page book. I have to read the 300-page book.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, at least you're not reading about Robert Anton Wilson because holy fuck.
Well, I can already tell you that what I'm doing is going to be multiple episodes, not consecutively, but because I like the topic that we're going to be covering. I don't want to spoil it, but it's
yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. So it's going to be okay, we're going to do kind of an overview of this topic, and then we'll have spotlights.
Yeah.
Later.
So before we get going, first off, we have still got the zine. Appendin. So if you want to appear in our zine, please contact us. Head to supernatpod.rocks. Go to the link that says zines, and it'll give you instructions on how to submit your art and or text to be included in the zine. All the details you need will be there on the website. That is supernatpod.rocks/zines. Secondly, I've got a little bit of an update on an episode I didn't think I'd have an update on.
Oh.
The KLF. So, you guys remember in the KLF episode how Drummond was managing the Teardrop Explodes and Echo and the Bunnymen?
Yeah.
And he had this insane idea that he would have the Teardrop Explodes play in Papua New Guinea and Echo and the Bunnymen play in Reykjavik, Iceland, and he would stand on a manhole cover in Liverpool and, I guess, absorb energy or something.
Harvest the energy while beating off. Who knows?
Something, yeah. Well, I need to explain something about that manhole cover that didn't make it into the episode because it really didn't completely fit. It's such a digression. That manhole cover is, more or less right in front of a bust of Carl Jung. And the reason is because Carl Jung experienced a synchronistic event in that spot while researching another synchronistic event in that spot that happened to another philosopher. Now, all of this is also directly in front of the cavern where the Beatles got started. So that's why that particular manhole cover was his manhole cover of choice. And the real update is I discovered this week what Bill Drummond did on his 60th birthday. He went back to that manhole cover, and he stood on it for 17 fucking hours. That's it. He stood on it for 17 fucking hours. That's the update. He went back to the manhole.
Did he? Well, I was going to ask, did he not go to the bathroom? But then at age 60, maybe he was wearing some adult undergarments.
I don't know. Depends. Thank you. I'll be here all week. So just a little update that Drummond is still doing Drummond shit. So, all is right in the world. The KLF continues in its own weird way.
Hell yeah.
So that being said, let's get into our articles for the week. And if you guys don't mind, I would like to go first.
Okay.
Because this is a rebuttal to the previous Weekend Weird, where we talked about the Bigfoot sightings being correlated to bears.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right.
Which you took great umbrage with.
I did, and apparently I'm not the only one. So, according to the Daily Star, is an article posted January 28th by Ethan Blackshaw, senior news reporter. Headline is, thousands of Bigfoot sightings, quote, can't be dismissed as beast behind them identified. Exclusive. A Bigfoot expert is weighed in on a recent study that claims to identify the hairy beast responsible for Sasquatch sightings, saying thousands can't be explained away. And the article, an expert says, quote, thousands of Bigfoot sightings are, quote, still impossible to explain away, despite boffins identifying the hairy beast they think is responsible for them. A recent study published in the Journal of Zoology looked at whether there could be an explanation as to why some areas tend to have more Bigfoot sightings than others. Study author Flo Foxon, got that name, Foxon, yeah, okay, founder of the Folk Zoology Society, wrote, quote, it has been suggested that the American black bear, Ursus americanus, may be responsible for a significant number of purported sightings of an alleged unknown species of hominid in North America. End quote. There are thought to be around 800,000 black bears across North America. Foxon's study modeled Bigfoot sightings and bear populations in each U.S. state and Canadian province by adjusting for human population and forest area, which we talked about that last time. It found Bigfoot sightings are statistically significantly associated with bear populations. She wrote, as black bear populations, I think we covered all that, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, great. So,
cryptogroupologist.
Yeah, cryptogroupon person. No, cryptozoologist Andy McGrath, author of Beasts of the World, Hairy Hominids.
Infinitely already more credible, right?
Yes, absolutely. Told the Daily Star it is logical that many sightings of Bigfoot-like creatures around the world are just misidentifications of varying species of black bear. He admitted that. He said, quote, it is no mistake that the word Yeti can also be translated as mountain bear or man bear, and could just as easily be applied to a large creature like a bear as it could an undiscovered man-ape. However, McGrath said, bears are, quote, quite different from what people have described Bigfoot as looking like. Quote, it makes it hard for such a misidentification to last for any more than a brief moment. He explained, standing bears have sloping shoulders, whereas Bigfoot is always described as being broad-shouldered. It's hot. Also, bears have prominent snouts and ears on top of their heads, whereas Bigfoot are invariably described as resembling an ape with a flat face. Witnesses have also described Bigfoot walking comfortably on two legs and using their man-like hands to grasp things like sticks or rocks, a feat no bear could perform.
Cryptozoologist says, nuh-uh.
Despite the study of Bigfoot being tainted by what McGrath describes as, quote, a cult-like fanboy culture. Good call on that one. He said, it is still impossible to explain away the thousands of descriptive sightings and long encounters that people have had with these strange creatures around the world, and I will agree with that. Not all Bigfoot sightings are bears.
Yeah, some of them are people in monkey suits.
Got that? It was the one.
Yeah, just the one.
Okay, two.
Okay, yeah, just the two.
The two famous ones, yes.
Could have also just been a very hirsute man.
Yeah.
It could be furries.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if it is our furry community, and you're listening, please don't go in the woods and make us think it's a Bigfoot.
I have another one.
What's that?
To quote, I can't remember the lawyer's name. It's Chewbacca.
That's oh God, Cochran.
Yeah,
Johnny Cochran. Yeah.
It's Chewbacca. It makes no
That
sense.
does not make no. Yeah.
That does not make any sense. Yeah.
It could just be, Star Wars nerds.
It's not.
Chewbacca costumes.
It's really not, though. Some of them are Bigfoot.
No. I'm going to go ahead and say disagree. Even though I think it's the most likely cryptid.
Yeah, but
I still don't think.
I'm not saying all of them are not bears, but I'm saying some of these are not bears. Okay.
You know what, Mike? You know what?
What?
Ratio L, you lack whimsy.
You saying Mike lacks whimsy?
Yes.
I do not lack whimsy. I'm looking at the cat that was digging
she is.
China.
Gretel's over there in a wooden box attempting to dig to fucking China now that we're recording. But Mike,
I don't
you say you don't lack
whimsy.
whimsy?
No, I'm just.
Yeah, how's it feel now, huh? How's it feel? How's it feel
Well,
to be
I feel
accused
fine
of having
because
no whimsy?
I'm just being pragmatic about it, and that if there was a Bigfoot, we would have some hard physical evidence, like fossil or we look as much roadkill.
It's a different form of matter.
No, that's even.
It's ghost monkeys.
We're going to go to Boggy Creek and we're going to go to their museum.
I'm telling you,
we're going to see all of the stuff that they have.
Kevin, our world is not that amazing to have different forms of matter
Mike.
just plopping in that we can't even detect with our science.
It's some form of interdimensional ghost monkey. That's all I'm saying. I'm calling it that just because I know it'll piss David off. But yeah, I wanted to read that rebuttal after my adverse reaction to that article last week. So
yeah, you took it really personally.
I kind of did, but it's because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta stand up for something
because Kevin, his whole personality is tied to Bigfoot.
Well, not just Bigfoot. Some of it's aliens. We know that.
I think we're all Bigfoot fans here.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I got all three of us Bigfoot shirts, matching Bigfoot shirts, I think we'd all wear them.
I already have a shirt with Bigfoot on it. Thanks,
and
to
it's
Kevin.
you.
It's me as Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Do they have a 3-wolf moon but with Bigfoot?
I don't know, but we're gonna find out while we figure out who reads the next article.
Look, if there's not one, I think that needs to be our next merch drop.
Yeah, I think we need to make that happen.
It is not a thing.
That's us. Copyright us.
TM and copyright. Mind you, there is one that's got Bigfoot, a Wendigo, and a werewolf with a moon with a Mothman in it. That's pretty cool. It's 3 cryptid moon, but no, we gotta do a 3 Bigfoot moon shirt.
Well, we could also do 3 host moon as well.
Oh, that would be. We'd do both.
Yeah.
All right. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
All right. So I picked this article just because of the title, because it's very evocative.
Okay.
So I picked this one up from The Bite, which is at futurism.com, published yesterday by Frank Landymore. And the title is Jet Black Eggs Recovered from Deep Ocean. Quote, a milky liquid-like thing leaked from it.
Look, leave the deep-ass ocean eggs alone. Whatever it is, leave it where it is. Don't touch it. I know what's coming. It's big, and you have to make a sanity check.
Yeah, it's you ever find those articles where you read the headline and you're just like, oh no.
Yes, like when everyone wanted to drink the sarcophagus water.
yes, the sarcophagus juice, the mummy juice.
Turned out to be like sewage, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like Darwinism should have allowed someone to drink that.
No, here's the thing. Someone did drink that.
Oh, no.
You have to know that someone did.
Someone snuck up with a shot glass.
Yeah.
It's like the toe. The toe in the liquor. The dude who has the toe in the whiskey bottle.
Yeah.
And you got to kiss a toe when you drink from the bottle. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, David. Tell us about these monster eggs.
So yes, the first section title here is Extreme Depths.
Oh, fuck off! Whatever website this is.
Yeah, it's futurism. They do that with every article.
Okay.
Okay. The abyssal depths of the ocean harbor slippery secrets. Take what researchers in Japan just dredged up. Okay, it figures it's fucking Japan does this.
They love the horrors from the deep and eating the horrors from the deep.
Mm-hmm. Take what researchers in Japan just dredged up. Mysterious jet black eggs so smooth and shiny they're like gross little marbles of darkness. I really do like futurism. I think they have some great writers on here.
Well, they're definitely creative in their words, their use of words.
As detailed in a study published in the Journal of Biology Letters, the eggs, technically egg capsules or cocoons, were discovered some 20,000 feet deep in the Kamchatka Trench in the Northwest Pacific, one of the deepest oceanic trenches on the planet. The egg capsule...
20,000 feet, but not 20,000 leagues.
No, because that's yeah.
Okay. Well, isn't a league a measurement for traveling distance, not necessarily depth?
Yeah, on a flat plane.
Well, I mean, a league is just you threw out something buoyant and measured it off, on the ropes.
There's a whole it's Saturday Night Live sketch about this.
It's a unit of distance, so it can be just as easily applied vertically. And a league is basically a yard, I think.
Okay, so it's not like ridiculous, like measuring the Millennium Falcon's Kelso the parsec.
No, it's I think they would tie off a knot every basically outstretched arms, which is about a man's outstretched arms is about a yard.
So
you just have knots. At those, and you'd throw a piece of wood over. That's also where knots.
The term knots
speed comes from, because that's like
how many knots in a blah, blah,
minute
blah.
or something like that. I don't know.
Now here's a question though: if you say it's arm's length, how many hands across America is it from North America to England?
I don't want to know.
Okay, just curious.
The egg capsules belong to soft-bodied invertebrates known as flatworms, and their discovery is the first clear evidence of these otherworldly creatures living at such an extreme depth, overtaking previous but uncertain record of around 17,000 feet. Study co-author Keiichi Kakui at Hokkaido University said that he was initially stumped by what he found. Quote, when I first saw them, I had never seen flatworm cocoons, and I didn't know what cocoons looked like. I thought they were maybe protists or something, he told IFL Science. Quote, under a stereo microscope, I cut one of them, and a milky, liquid-like thing leaked from it, he continued. At that time, I didn't know how rare that finding was.
God damn it.
Okay, every single thing in this article so far is the start of a really good horror movie.
It's or weird porn.
Or Godzilla movie.
Yeah. Now, guys,
all of the above.
In Host Talk, I have posted a picture of a flatworm, and I got to admit, this is not what I was expecting.
Oh yeah, with the little eye-shaped.
No.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
No, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're beautiful and weird, and I'm way less afraid of the eggs now.
Yeah, I've seen some that are not as pretty as that, but in kind of browns and blacks. But it's like a rainbow threw up and it came to life. It's like if a hippie's flare piece just started swimming away.
Now imagine seeing a 300-foot version of that floating around underwater.
No.
Yeah, see now we're cooking up a horror story here. This is good. I like it.
All right,
okay.
So I need to do a factual correction. I looked it up. I got leagues and knots mixed up, which I thought I was in the middle of my explanation. A league is actually about 2.4 it's not. It's very rough. It's like 2.4 to 4.6 statute miles. So it's an average about 3 miles. So 20,000 leagues would be impossible, I think. Under the sea.
Yeah, because I always assumed, based on the title, that it was like 20,000 leagues of a journey that's under the sea. Because that's the whole point of the book. Because the whole book is like a travelogue of the Nautilus.
So you're underwater and going 20,000 leagues.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. See, I always thought it was just talking about the depth.
That's okay. Wow, you just really turned me around on that title, dude.
Yeah, it's like Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. There's a the guy liked his travel logs. I'll just put it that way.
Well, sitting here finding beautiful pictures of flatworms and posting them in our host chat. So I
think the word "while" would have gone a long way in that title.
20,000 leagues while under the sea.
Yes.
That makes it too easy for you. We have an issue with information literature, information literacy in this country.
I was a stupid kid, all right. I want it spelled out for me.
Yeah, no, same here.
Okay, I was a literal kid, not stupid.
All right, let me continue here.
Yes, tell us about the cum spheres.
Using a remotely operated vehicle, the researchers found the eggs attached to 2 rock fragments. Though each was barely 1/10 of an inch in diameter, they contained between 3 to 7 flatworm embryos at varying stages of development. From there, a DNA analysis of 2 of the specimens revealed that they belonged to a suborder of Trichlidida flatworms known to inhabit far shallower depths. At their developmental phase, the researchers said that the deep-sea specimens appeared virtually indistinguishable at a superficial level to their surface-dwelling cousins. That means that flatworms that live in the depths aren't born to be all that different than the ones that live in the shadows. That suggests, the researchers concluded, that the shallow dwellers may have gradually colonized deep waters over time. Quote, the similarity in development between the relatively benign shallow water and extreme abyssal environment suggests that the triclads adapting to their latter faced primarily physiological and or ecological adaptive challenges rather than developmental ones, the authors wrote in the study. So yeah, it turns out that these worms are probably from the surface and have been going lower and lower.
Yeah.
To get away from us.
Or just predators in general.
Yeah,
they're finding their mother, the 350-foot long flatworm that's going to be in the next Godzilla minus 20,000 feet.
It doesn't have to be that big. It could just be the size of a kiddie pool, like a deflated kiddie pool.
That would still be very terrifying. Yes.
Yeah, flatworm the size of a Buick, terrifying.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. Once again, like they used to say on Something Awful, nuke the ocean. Fuck that. Fuck everything down there.
Problem is, we've nuked the ocean a bunch. That's probably where the Buick-sized flatworm came from.
Well,
that's how you get a kaiju.
It's definitely where SpongeBob came from.
Yes.
But yeah, I figured that was a fun one because the whole setup just sounds like a perfect horror story.
Yeah, now it gets run over by a trucker that's got Nyarlathotep's daughter with it. Yeah, there you go. It's fun that we discovered horrid eggs and it just turned out to be flatworms. I feel a little relieved, especially after seeing pictures of such beautiful flatworms. I did see the plain ones, Mike, but I wanted to be like, oh, look at these beauties. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Could be much worse.
Until they come out of your sink.
Or even worse, out of your pee hole.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you turn on your faucet in your sink to brush your teeth and flatworms start coming out of it. No matter how pretty they are, you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Now, which collection is that Stephen King short story in?
The I'm scared of fucking flatworms, yo.
That must be one of his newer ones after the van. Okay.
That's post-van for sure.
Gotcha. Okay, good. So definitely after he got off cocaine. Okay.
Yes.
So, God, I hate... Did I ever tell you, David, that one of my friends... I remember when Robin Williams got back into doing stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
I told one of our friends, hey, man, Robin Williams has a new stand-up special coming out on HBO. This is in like 90, 98, 99, something like that. And he goes, is he doing cocaine again? I said, no. And he said, then I don't care.
Oh, God.
I was like, wow.
That's harsh.
Yeah, that's harsh, given
the
modern, all that fun stuff.
I remember a really good Robin Williams cocaine joke when he was doing a demo of Spore, the game Spore. At a video game developer. Because Robin Williams was a huge gamer.
Oh, he was a nerd.
But he was creating his character in the creature editor and gave it a long snout. And he was like, hey, it's all the better for it to scoop up the cocaine.
Yeah,
it was like, funny. Well, that's a very Robin Williams joke.
Now, I think he might have been a goon.
There were some rumors that, someone of his caliber was on Something Awful.
Yeah. And, yeah. Anyway, so we'll talk about that on Distraction Hole sometime. Yeah. We'll talk about something awful.
That would be an amazing internet mystery to solve.
Was Robin Williams a goon? Yeah.
If you have the
Did
logs,
he like my Photoshop Friday submission? Yes or no?
If you have the logs, you could see, who dropped off, on that date.
Was he one of the people that took part in one of the 2 hell dump threads about me?
It's always got to be about you, Kevin.
Dude, 2 fucking competing threads shitting on me and my webcomic.
Oh.
And I still am a member of that fucking forum. Let's move on. Mike, what have you got?
So I also have a bit of a follow-up. So I did a story about a month ago or so about the scientist who says we don't have free will.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
We argued about it.
Yeah, Robert Sapolsky.
Just call him Robert Supply Room.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so he was on a recent episode of the Adam Conover podcast, which I listen to sometimes. Mm-hmm. And Factually is the name of it. And so I listened to his episode. And so hearing the discussion, one, he unabashedly says that at age 11, he came up with this idea and has just kind of found things to support it, which is not good science,
That's
really.
confirmation bias, isn't it?
Pretty much. And 2, his arguments are like, I will give him that free will is probably a lot more limited than we give it credit for. Like, we are a product of our genetics and upbringing. So those things heavily influence our decision making, pretty much to the point that we don't have much control. But I wouldn't say we have zero free will. Because there's plenty of, stories of people that, turn their life around and, do a 180.
Oh, yeah.
So,
they go against their conditioned responses and make changes. Yeah.
So I think there is free will, but it's in a not more limited, but it's definitely not as free as we think it is.
Sure.
And he doesn't have a good answer for the kind of random questions of like, well, if you have 2 equally weighted, decisions to make, well, how is that not free will when you choose one over the other?
Yeah. Do I want chicken or do I want crispy or baked chicken?
Like if you had 2 meals in front of you that were pretty much equal to you, well, you're going to choose one.
And it doesn't matter, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
I believe in free will, but, yeah. I saw some merits to his points, but not in his overall message of zero free will. He does say that, that because of, his argument is that because there is no free will, which I would say, because there's less free will than we think, we should look at pretty much everything that a person does, like bad things, as being products of their, their upbringing, their shit. No, I mean,
it's some letting Hitler off the hook shit.
No, it's
right
not.
There.
Not letting someone off the hook, but it's. I'm definitely a proponent of rehabilitation.
Oh yeah, no, I fully agree. We need prison reform, like
that's what I'm saying.
It's
if someone commits a crime, no one says let them off the hook, but it's saying that just throwing them in a dark hole and not doing anything to rehabilitate.
No, I agree. That's that, but you can make that argument just based on the fact that we've turned prisons into fucking free labor camps.
Well, no, that's less of a thing than it used to be, but it's more of just prisons have become ways for political donators to like scam the government.
Yeah, prisons are a for-profit industry.
Yeah, which is fucking nightmarish to me.
But so anyway, that wasn't supposed to be a topic. That was just addendum to a previous topic.
Oh, so that's not even the topic.
No.
Okay.
So my real topic for this segment is
panties.
Yes, panties. How pink are they? I don't know. No, it comes via Gizmodo. Alien-looking fossil trees uncovered in Canada. Quote, unlike any of those that live at the present.
Ooh.
Tree's canopy was 18 feet across, but its trunk was just half a foot thick. So...
like a palm tree.
This article also kind of speaks to me because it's full of puns. Like, off the bat, you won't believe the shape of this ancient tree.
Go fuck yourself, writers.
Oh, who is the writer? Isaac Schultz.
Fuck you, Isaac
February
Schultz.
2nd, 2024.
We'll continue.
A team of researchers found a 350 million year old fossilized tree species that looks like something out of Dr. Seuss.
Oh, God.
The fossils are
it's a truffula tree.
Yeah, the fossils are some of the oldest known trees and were discovered in what was once an ancient lake in the northeastern Canada. The species is called Sanforidalacus densifolia.
Ooh,
and would have
nice
taken up
pronunciation.
residence under the taller members of the forest canopy. The earliest fossil trees, not this tree, but all trees in general, date to the late Denovian period.
Mm-hmm.
Not Denovian, Devonian.
Devonian,
period.
right. Sorry, I misread it so often it sounded right.
And these, from the early Carboniferous, are just a few million years younger. It's not clear what Sanfordicilius'
The weird tree.
closest relations are on the tree of life, no pun intended. They intended that pun, come on.
Yeah, no shit.
Which means it's intrate sadis.
Can you imagine reading these articles if we were drunk?
I am kind of drunk, so that's my problem. I don't know what yours is.
We're just dumb. You're drunk.
So
if you ever wonder, everybody, our science guy drinks during the show. So
sometimes. But, so it goes on. I'm not going to read the tangent about Dr. Seuss's trees because that's not important. But they've named this tree the bottle brush tree because that's kind of what it looks like. It is a very funny looking, like
does it look like a chimney sweep's brush?
Sort of.
If you ask a kid to draw a tree, like a kindergartner to draw a tree, that's what they would draw.
This is what you get. Its
leaves look like if you took a palm tree's leaves but made it like the what that one guy's swords from Bleach. I almost said One Bleach. From Bleach, the kind of like sword with the spikes coming off the sides.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
teeth.
tree and like
it's very weird.
It really does look like God made a child's drawing come to life.
Yeah. We estimate that each leaf grew at least another meter before terminating, said Robert Gastaldo, a paleontologist at Colby College and the study's lead author in a Cell release. I'm guessing that's the publication. This means that the bottle brush had a dense canopy of leaves that extended at least 5.5 meters or around 18 feet around a trunk that was non-woody and only 16 centimeters in diameter. So it wasn't so would it really be a tree if it wasn't a woody trunk? I thought that was like the definition of a tree.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you consider it like a palm tree, a tree.
I think, is that not a woody trunk? I guess not.
No. Palm trees, I don't think they are. Palm trees, I don't think they have wood.
I guess
they're
sense.
fibrous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does kind of look palmy in the render they show up there. The ancient trees in New Brunswick were preserved when an earthquake pushed foliage on the edge of a lake into the water, pressing the tree into the lake bed. The recent paper focuses on the most complete of 5 tree specimens preserved in sandstone and siltstone on the ancient lake site, now a quarry. Based on the shape of the tree, with an immense canopy proportional to the rest of its size, the researchers concluded that oh God, they're gonna make me say this thing again. They're gonna say the crazy tree.
Just call it
a truffula tree. Just call it a truffula tree.
Yeah. Optimize its growth by intercepting light from the greenery in its immediate environs. The fossil revealed that the tree could host about 250 leaves around its trunk, each stretching nearly 6 feet out from the trunk. The history of life on land consists of plants and animals that are unlike any of those that lived at the present, Gastaldo said in a statement. Evolutionary mechanisms operating in the deep past resulted in organisms that successfully lived over long periods of time, but their shapes, forms, and growth architectures and life, wow, this guy likes run-on sentences, and life histories undertook different trajectories and strategies. Rare and unusual fossils, such as the New Brunswick tree. See, they should have been calling that before. The New Brunswick tree. That's easy. Is one example of what colonized our planet, but was an unsuccessful experiment. So yeah, so the fact that we have nothing, I don't know. It could be a precursor to palm trees, like you're saying.
It honestly sounds to me like a little bit like it evokes a missing link between like grasses and trees, because
maybe
like
coconut
trees. Yeah. Trees were an evolution from grasses, weren't they?
Yeah,
probably
because they start developing like I don't know. I'm watching a lot of like speculative biology videos, and I'm watching this one right now where it's the whole gimmick is we find a planet full of grasslands. We put cows, minnows, and crickets, and then see what happens and see them evolve and stuff. See
how long it takes for a tree to show up.
Yeah, or how long until like you get a carnivorous cow. And it's legitimately good. I love things like that. It's like, well, okay, here now we have a 3-foot burrowing cricket.
Oh god,
it's great. It's great stuff. But yeah,
here's something about this time period with these trees. First off, sharks had been around before trees. You know that, right?
Yeah,
sharks predate trees.
Makes sense.
And number two, the Carboniferous period is interesting because up until I think that point or during that point, there were no microbes that broke down trees. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have petrified forests and tree fossils like that. There was nothing to rot the trees.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So just some interesting stuff. I find the history of trees to be bizarrely fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Any chance to flex your knowledge, huh?
Yep. Hey, I read this on Reddit. Fuck you. Yep. So, thank you for that, Mike. I was wondering about that tree. That's pretty interesting. Now, before we go on to the next bit, and we take a break, I'm going to go ahead and do my second story because I have a segment coming up in the next bit, if that's all right.
Okay.
I mean, I'll allow it, but, watch yourself, counselor.
All right. Great. I feel like, God, what's his name from Law and Order? Okay, so this one is from BGR, which I'm not familiar with, but this got linked all over the damn place. You remember that George Carlin AI special that came out?
Yeah.
And everybody was up in arms about, including Carlin's family?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This article is by Joe Watushik. And it's the George Carlin AI special wasn't actually written by AI, creators admit.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that in 2024, one of the stories with the most twists and turns would be about George Carlin? Okay, it's not really about George Carlin. It's about AI. And that makes all of this back and forth make a lot more sense until we find out that AI wasn't involved at all. Well, it was.
Mm-hmm.
In like a text-to-speech sense.
Yeah.
Last week, the creators of the George Carlin I'm Glad I'm Dead AI special were sued by the Carlin estate.
I have to admit, that does sound, the title at least sounds like something he would do if he could speak from beyond the grave.
It does sound like something undead George Carlin would make. The special, which claimed to use AI to write the jokes and perform them in Carlin's voice, was called, quote, a piece of computer-generated clickbait which detracts from the value of Carlin's comedic work, and a, quote, casual theft of a great American artist's work by the complaint filed in court. Now, the creators of the special are claiming that it wasn't created using artificial intelligence at all. As reported by the New York Times, spokeswoman Danielle Dell told the newspaper, quote, it's a fictional podcast character created by two human beings, Will Sasso and Chad Kultgen. The YouTube video, I'm Glad I'm Dead, was completely written by Chad Kultgen. Now, I know Will Sazzo. He used to be on Mad TV, played Curly in that Three Stooges movie that the Farrelly brothers did.
Mm-hmm.
And he also did these great TikTok Vine videos where somebody would say lemons, and he would just start vomiting lemons.
Okay. Now, wait, so what did he do in the video then, if it's the other guy who wrote it? Is he just the fucking producer?
It's something they both apparently worked on. It's part of their podcast together. Anyway, that's an interesting statement, considering that the video itself, which is now taken down from YouTube as part of the demands of the lawsuit, but can still be found by people who re-uploaded it on some other channels, featured the Dudesy AI character saying, "It's my impersonation of George Carlin that I developed in the exact same way a human impressionist would." Quote, "I just want to let you know very clearly that what you're about to hear is not George Carlin. It's my impersonation of George Carlin that I developed in the exact same way that a human impressionist would. I listened to all of George Carlin's material and did my best to imitate his voice, cadence, and attitude, as well as the subject matter I think would have interested him today. So think of it like Andy Kaufman impersonating Elvis or like Will Ferrell impersonating George W. Bush." Does, quote, "my" refer to the AI or Chad Kultgen? I imagine that will be one of the pieces that the lawyers disagree on if this lawsuit actually makes it to court. Speaking of which, despite the admission from the creators of the video, Carlin estate lawyer Josh Schiller said that the lawsuit is moving forward. We don't know what they're saying to be true. He said. What we will know is that they will be deposed. They will produce documents, and there will be evidence that shows one way or the other how the show was created. We'll see where this one goes, but it does continue to pit creators of content, whether it be AI or humans, against the people from whom they are drawing their inspiration. It makes you wonder if AI-generated comedic performances created by someone other than the actual comedian will eventually be allowed, but require revenue share between parties, something like the music industry is entertaining right now. While some people are using AI to create a fake performance from George Carlin, Google is making an AI doctor that can help diagnose patients. Oh, God, did anybody else just have a shiver run down their spine? Whatever happens, it's going to be a weird future, and AI is going to be a big part of it.
Just like Bitcoin is. Oh, wait.
Yep, and those NFTs, I tells you.
Well,
yeah, my NFTs are making me money.
Yep.
So...
I guess the immediate question I have is, did any of us watch this thing?
I didn't, because I morally objected to it.
I just didn't know anywhere to watch it, so...
I wonder if it was any good.
I've heard it's not.
I could imagine it's not, even if it was written by... So here's the thing. So, what would be the legal standing of someone doing a full-length set impersonation of a comedian like that?
That's a good question, because it's been done before, because there have been one-man shows of people as Groucho Marx.
So here's my thing. It's like, I understand, there are issues with AI, but...
Is it because they were sampling Carlin himself to do it?
So here's the thing, but an impressionist is going to do the same thing.
I understand that.
But the impressionist isn't taking the actual recorded dialogue and voice of the person. They're simulating it through their own vocal inflection and technique. It's like,
but they're still, if they're coming up with material that, if you're writing something in the style of George Carlin, you're still doing the research and watching a bunch of his stand up.
I think they're thinking about it in terms of data scraping, and if you're doing the research, you're still creating something on your own because you're processing it through your perspective and you're writing the stuff down. But when you're using say an AI model or a language learning model to or even just taking like recorded dialogue from Carlin and re-editing it.
Well, that's not what it's doing,
in such
though.
A way.
So I mean, obviously didn't do this at all. But if this was done in AI, what you would do would be to you train a oh gosh, words are escaping me.
Algorithm?
No, not the algorithm. The neural network. That's the word I was looking for. You train a neural network with the the stand up performance. Like obviously, you'd probably the easiest way to do would be you do a text version of the set. Train or several sets, not just one set. You take basically every set you can get your hands on and train the neural network on this set, and then have it generate new sets based on that. But the training of the neural network, it's not like photoshopping bits and pieces together. It's the neural network finds the underlying connections between all that. It's really beyond what I've ever had to look into, but I know just enough to know I don't know anything at all about it.
Right.
But,
well, and okay. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I think there's a lot of misconception. I'm not trying to advocate for IP theft via, training networks like neural networks like this, but it's a sticky kind of gray area because if you take, it doesn't matter the art form or any, because, comedy's art, writing's art, drawing is art, painting is art, all that. But if you take a person and they, train themselves, copying, not directly copying, but copying stylistically someone's artwork, no matter what media it's in, how is that somehow seen as more better than an AI doing it?
Yeah, I feel like the difference here is that, like, if they were to just release a set list of the jokes, like, hey, we wrote these jokes in the style of George Carlin and everything like that, but I think nobody would really have an issue with that because that's what writers do. They try to emulate and they try to, but the difference is the performative aspect, using a synthesized voice of someone who didn't consent.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. That's a completely different thing. That's, yes, if you're, trying to imitate that's a little more gray. I'm just talking about the underlying art.
Can I just say, I think the big deal here is they didn't ask the estate if they could do it, and I have a feeling if they had,
they would have said
and worked with them, like it, if they had come to them and asked, there might have been a chance they'd say yes. Especially if there's we're not going to make any money from this, we want to do this as an experiment. And if they had shot him down, then okay, great. But I'm just saying, I think a big chunk of this is you did it without permission.
Well, so here's the thing: did they not make money off of this?
No.
Oh, then how are they getting sued?
That's a big question. And I think I don't know,
because unless they can prove this somehow disparaged, I'm not a lawyer, obviously. So, but
we're not qualified.
My understanding is that unless they can prove it somehow damaged,
well, that's why it's going to court, I guess.
It just seems weird. I don't see how you could say this was you owe damages for this.
I don't.
But
know.
Anyway,
but.
AI is one of those things. I think it's overhyped as hell. I don't think, everything's going to be AI based in 20 years or 5 years. I think it's just like cryptography, whatever. Well, no, I'm just saying cryptologically signed blockchain. Blockchain is the word I'm looking for. Just like the blockchain technology, it has some use, but we're once again trying to shoehorn a technology into everything that doesn't always fit and isn't the best fit and probably is detrimental in a lot of ways. Like search results. I don't want fucking AI in my search results because AI, just like computers, are supposed to be better than people at keeping track of facts, what's real. And AI is just showing that we've taught a computer how to be as untrustworthy factually as a person.
That's true. We basically turned Google into QAnon.
I mean, the algorithms were bad enough where they were just starting to push people into, echo chambers, and, just keep feeding them the same crap they engage with because it's the same pap they've been, clicking on. But now we're just outright lying to people when they search for, anything in a search result.
Now, can we all agree that this is all basically boiling down to that joke from The Simpsons when Smithers turned his computer on? It was the naked Mr. Burns. Oh, hello, Smithers. You are very good at turning me on.
You should probably ignore that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Malibu Stacy with a new hat.
I'm sorry. I love that freaking joke much.
It's a great joke. But I'm not looking for AI to turn me on. Well, I don't know. I've looked at some AI porn.
Anyway, we're going to move on. So that being said, I figured we needed to pad out the first half a little more. So thank you for that, Mike.
Mike drunkenly rambles about something.
Yeah, well, that's why we got you. So we're going to take a quick man, maybe I need a drink. We're going to take
maybe we need an AI to replace you.
Fuck you.
Replace all of us with AI.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back after this.
Hey there, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're probably into cryptids and monsters. Well, if you have a creative spark, you can always join us in our first ever Supernatural Selection zine project. For 2024, we are doing cryptid encounters, where you can draw or write an encounter with a cryptid of your choice, and we'll put it in the zine. The current submission window is from early January to late June. If you're interested in finding out more, you can always go to supernaturalselectionpod.com/zines. That is ZINES. Now back to the show.
And we're back. So, having just done my second segment spot before the break, David, what have you got for us?
Oh, okay. All right. So this is from NBC News, article by Catherine Ito.
Fake news.
Alabama station in disbelief after 200-foot radio tower stolen.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I saw this. In fact, I brought this up in a tab for me to cover, and then I saw David had already put it in the Discord at 5 p.m. I was like, damn it.
I saw it, but I'm just like, what in the fuck?
Yeah, so for our listeners, the way that we divvy up these stories is we literally have a Discord thread in which we post links, and then we hit it with an emoji if we want it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And, so, you missed out by emojiing too late, motherfucker.
Yeah, he missed it by like an hour. Probably.
I usually assume if you post it, it's your story, and I just emoji the ones that I've already covered.
Well, I throw a few in there just in case anyone wants them, because sometimes, Mike, you don't have a story.
True.
Anyway, it says radio station WJLX can no longer broadcast its AM programming since the incident. Gee, I wonder why.
Man, where are people going to listen to Coast to Coast AM?
Oh, if it's in Alabama, it's not Coast to Coast. It's like either hard right or like Christian.
Have you listened to Coast lately?
Not lately, no.
Tactical flashlights and Baker buckets, man.
Tactical flashlights?
Flash, not flesh, you darn long-eared galoot.
So you'll probably cover it in your story, but not only is their AM station offline, their FM station is as well.
Oh, shit. Yeah, because those towers can do both.
Yep.
Well, no. It's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
A radio station in Alabama was forced to go silent after a thief stole its 200-foot radio tower and other equipment from a building. The station, WJLX, sent a landscaping crew to the site on Friday morning for a spring cleaning, only to find the 200-foot radio tower gone.
What the fuck?
When a crew member called the station's general manager to break the news, he was in disbelief. Quote, "What do you mean the tower is gone? Are you sure that you're in the right place?"
I mean, I can understand that.
That's a pretty good reaction to there's no fucking way somebody stole a radio tower.
Oh, no, he goes on to say, "I actually used more colorful words than that," Brett Elmore recounted to NBC News. He said there's wires all over the ground and the tower is gone.
What the fuck? Oh my god. What if they stole it for the copper?
That's one of my theories.
Probably 200 foot. That's steel, man. That ain't copper.
I mean, that sounds like. This honestly sounds like something from Trailer Park Boys. Yeah. I can imagine Ricky, Bubbles, and Julian stealing a radio tower because usually Bubbles would sell the shopping carts for the metal.
Okay.
So yeah, I can imagine them stealing like a 200-foot tower and like, oh, it's the Big Dirty. We're gonna make a fortune on this one, guys.
The Big Dirty. Okay.
I love Trailer Park Boys. Anyway, not only was the radio tower stolen, but a nearby building was also vandalized. When Elmore heard the door was left ajar, quote, "That's when the reality was starting to set in that something bad had happened." not the missing fucking 200-foot tall tower, but no, like a door had been left open on the building.
They stole the lawnmower.
The thieves stole every piece of equipment from the building, including a transmitter. Elmore has filed a report with the police. Quote, "There was a meeting yesterday between the owner and our neighbors, our investigators concerning the matter," Jasper Mayor David O'Mary told NBC News on Thursday. "At this point, we are still lacking information that we have to conduct a full-fledged investigation." This is the most exciting thing that's happened to this town in years, probably.
Oh my god, yeah.
WJLX notified the Federal Communications Commission that its AM station was silent. The station was hoping to continue broadcasting its program through FM radio in the meantime. Quote, "We requested a temporary authority to keep the FM translator on until we get the AM back on the air," Elmore said on Thursday. "But unfortunately this morning I was notified the FCC denied our request to stay on the air on the FM side, so actually we're about to go power down the transmitter."
Jesus fuck.
Despite the setbacks, Elmore has faith WJLX will bounce back. Unfortunately, the site was not insured. "We're a small market station, but we're going to get back, and we're going to be back on the air as soon as we possibly can," Elmore said.
"I'm proud to be an American."
Yeah, so apparently their FCC license said that they have to transmit on both AM and FM, and if one goes down, they can't just keep transmitting on the other.
Damn.
So, I mean, that makes sense.
So they're just their temporary thing. I mean, they could probably continue to apply, but just means in the meantime, they can't. But there's also some other weird aspects to this story I've seen in other articles. Like the replacement cost of the tower would be about $100,000 to $250,000. They say that that's money they just don't have. But also, they had a guy from Virginia call yesterday and say, I think a helicopter grabbed the tower.
What?
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Someone called and said they think a helicopter grabbed the tower.
Is this related to cattle mutilations?
I don't know. Elmore added that WJLX wasn't the only station hit by thieves. About 6 months ago, a nearby radio station had their air conditioning unit, copper pipes, and other materials stolen. He's not sure if the robberies are connected, but he believes thieves may have targeted WJLX's tower and transmitter to make a quick buck from selling the metal. Which, makes sense. What else are you going to do with a radio tower? I mean, I'm sure steel has a price.
I'm looking up the station now to see what I can. I'm seeing that they have that notification on there. I'm trying to see what type of station they are.
Well, let me tell you something. There's one thing they need to do. They need to keep an eye on eBay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Used radio tower. Mm-hmm. 200 foot tall. But no, so there was
for sale radio tower, never used.
The spot of land it was on was part of a poultry plant, and they're hoping that the poultry plant's surveillance cameras saw something.
It's just nothing but chickens out there snapping the wires, pulling the tower down. They've got a new state-of-the-art metal nest.
Okay, I see at least a couple of Christian programs on here. It seems like it's like a community. Like I think they have a couple music programs, and they do sports and stuff. So,
well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. Actually, I don't remember what I was going to say. Never mind.
Oh, they do free lunch Friday contests.
Oh, a lot of stations do that. That's fine.
From the Pie Factory of Jasper.
Jesus Christ, they're responsible for the diabetes in that whole area.
See, they do oldies. I don't know. I'm curious. Like I've always had like a fascination with like little radio stations and shit like that. So
I'll tell you who didn't do it. Church of Satan.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, that makes sense. I wouldn't do that.
So this was about a 18 to 20 story tall tower.
They should have seen it on a flatbed.
I mean, I'm sure they cut it up.
Maybe. I mean, what if it is a helicopter and there's just this tower flying through the air?
Just very loudly chopping up a radio tower in the middle of a chicken ranch.
Oh, Lord.
This sounds like something from Trailer Park Boys to me, though. Jesus Christ.
So here's a legal clarification. The FM station is officially just a translator of the AM station, which means it rebroadcasts the AM feed on FM, and it isn't legally licensed to operate as a standalone radio station. So I'm assuming they could like apply to be an FM station. I don't know what the conversion process. I'm sure there's some kind of documented conversion process to change your translator FM station just to a full-on FM station.
I mean, we could literally spend the next 30 minutes Googling how to convert the station. I think it'd be entertaining, but that's just me.
So apparently it's also had a checkered history, including being sold repeatedly and recently, and many shutdowns because of inadequate maintenance of the AM tower.
Oh,
here's one. FM translators of AM stations get converted to standalone stations with a corresponding shutdown of the original AM station all the time, so I'm surprised the FCC didn't approve a conversion.
Maybe like... Okay, this is probably me like saying something inflammatory and probably like... But like, what if like the person who runs the station like sold the tower to someone? Yeah, because apparently the station like has been having issues. So I don't know.
Sold it for meth money.
Maybe there's a conspiracy here.
Well, we are a conspiracy podcast, sort of, so that's fine.
We're conspiracy adjacent.
Yeah.
Here's a conspiracy. So I'm going through the, I originally saw this story on Slashdot, so I'm looking through the comments. That's where I got some of the extra information from. And someone says, but it was aliens. There you go. How's that, Kevin?
Yeah, no, works for me. They needed it to broadcast their own radio station. So
it was either 5 Bigfoots or 5 black bears. I don't know
who
which.
it was.
Yeah, no, it's 5 Bigfoot or 10 black bear.
No, you're missing the whole obvious choice of who, or obvious one who it was. It was the pirate Max Headroom from the 80s.
Oh, dude, that would be badass.
He stole it to up his piracy game.
We still need to do our pirate broadcast episode.
Yes, that is on the topic.
Because I want to talk about that the Max Headroom incident, because that's amazing.
There's that, and then there's like the Ashtar Command broadcast in the UK. There's actually several we need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, that's fun and new. That's hot wheat. That's today. That is hot wheat, y'all. So thank you for that, Mike.
Yeah, a comment also made, did nobody call in saying, hey, you went offline?
That should tell you everything you need to know about their listeners.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Mike. It was my story, motherfucker.
Shit, sorry. I'm tired, David. Fuck. Mike was doing so much research and reading about it.
I'm taking credit for everything. Next, Kevin's going to start giving me credit for his stuff, too.
Holy shit. Wow.
I am so sorry, man.
My flowers were stolen from me.
I'm sorry, that was totally you, and I'm just
we're good. We're good. I just found it very, very funny. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Oh, fuck me. I was doing this before the show. I kept thinking Mike did the UFO, the Bigfoot story.
Yeah. So Mike's the one who joins the group project in the last week.
I do the least amount of work in this podcast. I'm getting all the credit. This is great.
Fuck me. Oh, man. So, thank you for that, David. Now, Mike, do you have a real story?
I think I did like 5 stories already. So, yeah, another one from Gizmodo from January 16th by Ed Cara. There's been a staggering increase in people killed by fungi every year. Study finds more fungus. Fear-mongering.
Mark it off on your bingo card, people.
Yeah.
Cat, why are you wet? Cat rubbing against me, and she's just like wet.
Mike, don't talk about the wet pussy on the air.
Well, it's got my foot wet. It's gross, and I'm always like going, "Is that? I hope that's water."
Yeah. Well, which part of the body is the cat rubbing you with?
Her head.
It's tail.
Oh. Okay. It's Ginger.
The top of her tail, though, thankfully.
Oh.
So unless she's really good at peeing, it's probably water. All right, back to fungi. The global burden and death toll of fungi has substantially climbed over the past decade, new research finds. The study estimates that fungal infections help kill nearly 4 million people annually, almost double the amount estimated by similar research in 2012. Co-infections like HIV and tuberculosis, a lack of speedy and reliable diagnostic testing, and growing antifungal resistance are thought to be a major contributor to these deaths.
Murder
fungus.
Fungus murder.
The new research is by David Denning, a fungal infection researcher. Well, of course he's going to say it's like he's like trying to get more
exactly. It's
funds.
deadly. It's deadly. Make sure that you fund my research.
Fungal infection researcher at the University of Manchester in the UK. It's also the UK, they just die of everything over there, right?
Yeah. They have weak constitutions. It goes along with their weak monarchs.
They die when they eat cumin.
They eat too much flavor and they die.
Yeah.
Over a decade ago, Denning and his colleagues conducted a review of the available data on the global morbidity and mortality of fungal infections, particularly the infections that can cause severe illness by systematically invading our bodies. Did I say evading? I meant invading. Back then, they estimated that fungi directly caused or contributed to the deaths of about 2 million people every year. In this latest paper, published last week in the Lancet Infectious Diseases, Dennings tried to gauge how common and deadly these infections were between 2019 and 2021. To do so, he reviewed dozens of papers published from 2010 to 2023, ultimately analyzing data collected from over 120 countries. Dennings now estimates that 6.5 million invasive fungal infections and 3.8 million fungal-related deaths occur worldwide every year. He also calculated that about 2.5 million of these deaths are directly attributable to fungi. For some added background, a recent review estimated that infectious diseases as a whole caused or contributed to roughly 14 million deaths annually. While people are routinely sickened by viruses and bacteria, fungi are typically less suited to infect us. Most species can't live long inside our warm bodies, our warm, toasty bodies.
Warm, toasted mushroom bodies.
Until they beat that species barrier that we talked about.
No kidding.
God damn it.
And our immune systems are usually very capable of resisting fungal infections. But in recent decades, several factors have made these infections more common. New medicines have allowed people to live with donated organs or survive once fatal conditions, but at the cost of a weakened immune response, for instance. Some scientists also speculate that climate change has helped some fungal species, such as Candida auris, evolve to become heat tolerant, which then makes it easier for them to infect humans. Fungal-related deaths that happen today are often linked to other health problems, Dennings notes. For instance, he estimates that over 2 million annual cases and 1.8 million deaths of invasive aspergillosis, infections of aspergillus fungi that typically affect the lungs. I guess that makes sense with aspirate. Occur in people who are struggling with chronic or obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, lung or blood cancer, tuberculosis infections, or who are otherwise in intensive care. I think we covered a little bit of this before.
Yes.
Fungal infections in general are also estimated to contribute to nearly half of the 600,000 deaths that still happen every year from poorly controlled HIV and AIDS. And it's possible that Denning's tally is an understatement, since he didn't look at the potential impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is known to have helped spark large outbreaks of fungal germs inside hard-hit hospitals. Many of these deaths may have been preventable if doctors were better at proactively recognizing fungal diseases, Denning says. But current diagnostics often fail to detect these infections even when doctors suspect their presence, he adds. Much like lupus, I guess. They don't think that's the fungus. We also have relatively few antifungal drugs available. Well, come on, just use Tinactin, right? That's good on fungus. And some germs have quickly learned how to defeat these treatments. Scientists are working on developing new drugs and other avenues of prevention, such as vaccines. Okay, that's a period, but they start the next sentence with but. Come on, editors, be better. But Denning says more accurate and readily available tests are also needed to help contain the growing fungal threat to humanity. It should have been a comma, not a period.
So
bad.
Coming from an English teacher here, the English language has updated quite a bit. So, like, while traditionally you wouldn't want to start a sentence with "but," you can. It's become more of a stylistic choice.
That's a bunch of but.
Nonetheless, fungus bad.
Yeah,
of course we knew that.
Fungus
our
can be
friend,
bad.
The fungus.
Fungus will kill us all and or feed us all, depending on who you listen to.
And we probably deserved it at this point.
I'm going to draw a little Among Us dude with like a little mushroom hat, and he's going to have a knife, and then that's going to be a new t-shirt for us. Because the fungus is going to kill us.
Yep. We're going to die. Oh, boy. So, yeah, fungus.
Yep. So thanks for
Thank
giving
you for
us
the
more
fungus
nightmare
update.
fuel.
Yep.
Well, I'm just a fun guy.
I really God, fuck off. I really kind of want some fried mushrooms now.
Mushrooms are delicious.
They are. Yep.
I'm glad that we could agree on that.
Yep. Sorry.
Mushrooms suck and are nasty.
You were just
Mike
thinking about
actually
fried
does not
mushrooms.
like
You're just like, man,
I
fried
was.
mushrooms, and you just zone off.
Yep. I'm just zoned out thinking about mushrooms. I'm sorry. I'm hungry and tired.
I
So.
do not like mushrooms, Sam. I do not like mushrooms and ham.
You know, that wouldn't be that bad.
I think mushrooms go best with pepperoni.
Yeah, no, they do. I just like fried mushrooms. Get a toothpick, dip them in some ranch. So, everyone, I've got a segment I would like to introduce that we're going to start doing on our Weekend Weird.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Phantoms and Monsters Theater.
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
music.
to Phantoms and Monsters Theatre, presented by Lord Kevin Hayman, the 4th Earl of Schlotzky's.
Now you know you're going to have to read the entire article in that voice.
Yes.
No, I'm not doing it like that. I'm doing voices, though, as I always do. All right, fine. A homeless woman.
No, please don't. Please don't.
A homeless woman. Okay.
A homeless woman.
Title of the article is Homeless Couple Freaked Out by Unknown Creature in New Jersey Pine Barrens.
Okay.
A homeless woman and her boyfriend, which it doesn't say whether the boyfriend is homeless there. They're just assuming. What if he's got a place and she's just like, I like my independence? I feel like they're trying to add to the story. Nonetheless, a homeless woman and her boyfriend are camping, and if you're homeless, it's not camping.
No, that's not.
You're
camping.
Living in
a tent down by the forest,
down by the river.
So, homeless woman and her boyfriend are camping in New Jersey's Pine Barrens. A series of strange events, including an unknown tall creature and maniacal laughter, freaks her out. The following account was forwarded to me. Could it have been the Jersey Devil? I was homeless for a few years. Sorry, always that voice. I was homeless for a few years from 2018 to 2021, and I used to stay in a tent with my ex-boyfriend in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. I always had to end up moving my tent spot eventually because the cops would find us. Either way, I had spent a lot of time in the woods at night. One night when walking back to my tent, I heard something down the trail a bit. I shined my light in the direction of the sound to be met with the glowing eyes reflecting my flashlight. However, that's some punctuation. However, where the eyes were made it so whatever I was looking at was taller than me, and I'm 5'8". There is no animal that tall in the area. You ever seen a moose? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, yeah, we need to make deep moose happen.
Yes, definitely. We have deep moose as a new cryptid we're trying to start. I turned to my... She didn't mention that her ex is there until now. I turned to my ex and tell him to start going to the tent faster. He could tell something was off, so he asked if I was all right. I told him I'll tell him when we get back to the tent because I have always been told not to acknowledge such creatures / spirits as it gives them more power.
Superpower.
Then some nights there would be smacking on our tent. It would hit all the sides of the tent. That's cops, lady. We would look out the tent windows and check outside the tent, but we would never find anything or hear any footsteps. Another night during the summer, we decided to go for a small hike at night because it was way more of a tolerable temperature. About 15 minutes into the hike, I started feeling paranoid, like I was being watched. About 5 minutes later, I heard a maniacal laugh coming from somewhere in the woods. Oh, it's just the Jersey mad scientist, man. What? I couldn't pinpoint which direction, though. My ex asked me what was that, and I loudly said, I don't know, but whatever it was, it needs to stop. As soon as I said this, multiple maniacal laughs started.
Is it like a fleet of like Tex Richmond from the Muppet movie?
It might be. Maniacal laugh.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
My ex and I turned around and walked back for what felt like the longest 20 minutes. Considering it took you 15 to get there, yeah, it is. Another time, I found a severed coyote head with something hung in the tree beside it. It had a tooth in it.
What the fuck?
It had a tooth in it.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, one time I was with my friend, parked on the road far into the woods so we could smoke. What were you smoking? The passenger window was down, which is where I was sitting. The woods were right next to me. Yeah, that's how that works on a road. The woods were right next to me. Again, the feeling of being watched overwhelmed me. 2 minutes or so later, I heard a hello, and then John coming from the woods. I tell my friend to turn around and we need to leave. I didn't tell her why because, like I said, I don't like to acknowledge these things until I'm far away from them.
They're just looking for John Keel.
Yeah, note, they are, actually. Note, misspelled, the pain barons.
The pain barons? Duke Harkonnen and his family, the pain barons. The pain barons.
I can't read. The pain barons are also known for a large host of cryptids and anomalous activity including Bigfoot lawn. There's a lot of just added letters in this article.
The pain barons.
Always beware the spirits looking for John in the pain barons of New Jersey. Just, hello, John? Oh my God. Okay, that was great. I'm really glad I found that one. But when I saw a homeless couple freaked out by unknown creature in Jersey Pine Barrens, I'm like, it's the Pine Barrens. Is it really unknown? It
really wasn't like a creature, like any indication of an actual creature in that story.
There was a moose, her drug-induced paranoia, and somebody looking for John.
Mm-hmm.
In the Pain Barrens.
In the Pain Barrens.
That's the best part, though.
Pain Barrens. I like that. I like the Pain Barrens.
I feel like if we do one about the Jersey Devil and the assorted creatures up there, we're going to have to call it the Pain Barrens now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's our segment. Thank you for listening to Phantoms and Monsters Theater. So
what about the Pain Elemental? Is that in the Pain Barrens?
I am the Pain Elemental, Mike.
All right then.
Yes, you are, Kevin. Yes, you are.
Yes, I am the Pain Element, dude. The few times I've woken up and something on me hasn't hurted, I've cried.
See. No, you're just suffering from pain. You're not the living embodiment of pain.
I would like to argue that, but let's move on.
No, see, the living embodiment isn't of pain. He just causes pain.
Oh, the Pain Baron sounds like a retreat for BDSM fans.
Ooh, yeah,
sexy. So that's our new segment. So, David, we don't have any questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is X going to give it to us?
X is going to give it to us indeed, and perhaps we're going to be given it as well.
Hell yeah. Let's do this shit. Leroy Jenkins.
Okay. The name of the thread is Lizard Rizzing Reptile Maxing Advice.
Are we talking Lacerda all of a sudden?
Well, let me just read this message and we'll start discussing.
Oh, please do.
Quote, what are the spiritual implications of having sex with a reptilian? If they're real and they reproduce, then surely that means they get horny and need copulation. How can I achieve that?
Well, have you tried oral?
I mean, it didn't sound like Lacerda wasn't unwilling.
I get the feeling Lacerda doesn't need the help either.
Mm-hmm. Just sunning herself on her rock.
Naked. With her lizard tits.
They emphasized sunning herself naked on her rock.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
So, I gotta know what the response is to this shit is.
Well, the first post is go to the Mammoth Cave system, follow the stories about goblins, find them, and figure it out.
Goblins aren't reptilians, though. That's
but they're affiliated. Animal. They are affiliated with them in some UFO.
Just because you meet at the company picnic doesn't mean that, they're not in constant contact. I mean, sure, maybe they're using the underground Agartha network that connects to Shambhala, but I don't think they're hanging out like that.
Okay, here's a nice cringy response. I think it's like us, except they lay the eggs, They also feel no love and are hyper-intelligent, so breed strictly for eugenic or strategic purposes, and not uncommonly by rape, though the females harbor no negative emotions from the experience and simply leave the children on their own like all lizard mothers, or eat the children if they consider them disadvantageous. Of course, that's assuming you can even inseminate the right hole in their maze-like vaginas, a contributing, albeit not undesired factor in the relatively low population, only 1 trillion.
Okay, I'm picturing Lacerda's vagina looking like a Pac-Man maze now.
Are the ghosts in there?
Yep. My vagina's haunted.
I got ghosts up in my pussy.
If you're like going at it, does it go waka 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 waka?
It goes gobble gobble gobble.
Okay, here's a good response. This is in response to the goblin thing that we were just talking about. Quote, I actually just finished watching Hellier. Do you think, hypothetically, by masturbating in the Mammoth Cave system, I can generate enough Orgon energy to attract a reptilian girlfriend?
Go for it. I mean, the park rangers aren't going to be your friends, but go for it.
Same reply. Feels the green text. Feels no love. Girls are intensely subby. This is the perfect relationship.
Oh, fuck off. There's some fucked up shit in that post.
Can you post a picture so I know what I'm getting into? Also, does anyone know what attracts them, especially the females? Like, maybe I can bait one outside the cave and then fuck it? Or maybe I can cultivate the attributes that females find attractive and start a legitimate relationship?
I don't know. Apparently being interviewed turns them on if you tried that.
One great reply, I'm willing to get lost in the lizard labyrinth.
Oh, that's a whole weird Dungeons and Dragons supplement.
Let's see. Yeah, so not a whole lot here, but like people giving serious thought to fucking the lizard people.
You know, for once we've got a lot in common with 4chan there. We have deeply thought about sex with a lizard woman.
Oh man. And it gets filthier from here, but...
I'm sure it does.
Yeah. But, yeah, great. So lizard, rizzing, reptile, maxing advice. So, like, let's all give them a good piece of advice if you want to attract a lizard wife.
I think you gotta be the sub. I really think you gotta, be like, take me, superior woman, I am your monkey man slave.
Okay. No, I can see that. Okay. How about you, Mike? What's your advice?
It's all about the distinct coloration. Bonus points if you have neck frills.
Oh.
Can you make them out of cardboard?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, we do plenty of, pseudo sexual markers in
peacocking.
In our dress and our, in makeup and things like that. So I don't see why a lizard person wouldn't also be receptive to fake sexual markers in a potential mate.
Sure, yeah. You could
get one of those get the frills like Shakespeare wore, or he's depicted as wearing, but kind of dyed red or blue or something.
Here's another idea. Why don't you get one of those rainbow umbrellas and cut a hole in the center and stick it around your fucking neck?
A large dog cone of shame, but painted or covered in construction paper.
Was painted where it looks kind of like a watermelon.
Ooh, and dance. You could probably would help if you could dance.
What kind of dance, though?
I don't know. Just some kind of groove. It doesn't have to be like, it could be the Carlton for all I know. It depends on the lizard woman, I guess.
Okay, but I think we can all agree, like, Riverdance would not do it.
No, they'd probably have like a racial memory of being stepped on by large things.
And, I was St. Patrick driving them out of Ireland.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they live underground, so that river dancing is probably super annoying for them.
Yes.
Yep, very true. Because one of the things about river dancing I've always said is it takes white people to take the joyous act of, just active dancing and then just starch it and bleach it and turn it into river dance.
No, I got it. I know why the lizard ladies would not like the river dance.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
They have taste.
Ooh, good point.
Ooh.
Shots fired?
Shots fired.
Shots fired. All right. Well, this has been a shambolic episode. I have just misattributed articles left and right. And I thought David was tired. So this is an episode. This has certainly been an episode.
Aren't you glad that I didn't finish writing the episode we were supposed to do this week?
So glad. Oh, Lord. Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I just saw the picture you posted in the Discord of the mushroom and the people underneath it.
Yes.
That is something?
It's in general.
It's in general, and Ghost Forge said, get that psilocybin.
Those 3 stick figures are us.
God, that'd make a great t-shirt, man.
Yeah.
With literally the text, get that psilocybin.
I think I'm gonna make that, Mike. You just gave us our new shirt.
That's something we should do sometime. If we had more people do
Jackbox
psilocybin?
Jackbox TKO.
Oh, I thought you meant psilocybin.
I have Jackbox. I've been trying to get us together to do a Jackbox.
I have a lot of them too.
Yeah, like literally do a TKO stream with some of the listeners.
I'm good at jacking.
Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have no verifiable evidence of that. I can't see so.
I've heard. Anyway, that being said, thank you everyone for listening. Let's see, David, what have we got to tell people about? Head to supernatpod.rocks. That is supernatpod. God damn. supernatpod.rocks to find information about the show, links to our Discord, our merch store, our zine information, and various other things like that there, including information about advertising. Although after this episode, I would not blame you for not doing so. So, you can find us on the social.
I was going to say we should probably mention the first, what were you calling it, Hot Wheat Theater?
Yes, okay, so for patrons, which you can find a link for the Patreon at supernatpod.rocks. I believe it is patreon.supernatpod.rocks. What we're doing is on Mondays, we are streaming on the Discord until we can find an actual platform where we won't get copyright strikes. And what we're doing is we're putting together a playlist of amusing videos, and each host has a week where they take the reins. Mine is Kevin's Hot Wheat. David's and Mike's are to be named as we go.
Sometime maybe instead of showing videos, I might say fucking and we'll do Jackbox.
Hey, there you go. We can do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine will be videos because, oh man, I am finding some stuff that people are going to hate me for.
Yeah, I started looking at videos to start maybe doing like supercuts.
Yep. Yeah. So you can find that by joining our Patreon, and after we're done, we post the video up on Patreon so you can watch it there.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thank you for listening. We will see you guys next week for something for sure. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
Get that psilocybin.
Yeah. It just dawned on me. I should probably actually be saying stay safe and stay froggy.
Aw. I like that.
Yeah. Because, frog.
What about some cold porridge instead of hot wheat?
Nope. Hot wheat all the way, baby. Microwaved grains.
Rotten rye.
Rotten rye and psilocybin.
That's how you get witch trials.